What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Welcome into Derelict Sports. It's your boy Nick alongside Derelict Dale. I don't know if we're going to get the front office today. We will see. Long time no see, though. We have not been live since Thursday, the NFL draft. We were going to go live on Monday, but your boy at 32 years old threw his back out and has
How is
been.
the back? Sorry, I guess I didn't ask you that today. I'm an awful friend. How is the back doing? Better?
Back's all right, dude. I'm about to work today, so I was working on it, doing normal shit. So it is
Do
what
you
it is. Took a whole day off yesterday.
do you think a steel chair to the back would help or hurt you right
It might actually fucking help me,
now?
to be completely honest with you, because I mean, it was, dude. I have never. The only getting stabbed was the only thing that was worse
Damn.
than that. I told my boss that. My boss like, man, really? He's like, yeah, that's lucky you. I go, lucky me. I go, brother. I go, the stabbing was bad. I'm not saying like he was almost like, oh, that's not bad. You haven't felt that much bad of pain. I'm like, brother, my back went out. Like it was, bro. I went down to lift up that box and never came back up. Basically, it was just next thing I know, I'm on the ground, rolling around. I can't get off the ground, which was so embarrassing. So I had to fucking thank God nobody was around. So I finally, it took me about 10 minutes to work myself back up to my feet, and then we
And,
made it, dude. So
and then you look like
that
you
is
had a
why we weren't live on Monday, because I couldn't sit up straight.
yeah. I was getting play-by-play text. I'm like, oh, Nick sounds like he. There's a lot of things he would be rather doing than dealing with this right now.
Dude, that's it. It was fucked. So where today I just got done laying on the couch for an hour. I got home, did some shit, ate some food, did some things around the house, and then sat down for about an hour. But yeah, it's cooked. So it is. My back is very excited to sit down and watch Blues playoff hockey here in about 90 minutes. We got Game 4. Let's go. Fucking St. Louis Blues, baby. They are, obviously they went down 2-0 in Winnipeg. And there is actually a stat that I want to read you that is fucking incredible. So the Winnipeg Jets, obviously, right? They are, where did I post this somewhere? Where did I post Where did I send this? Did I put this in? Maybe I put this in the collab. Where the fuck did I read this? Hold on. Of course, here we go. Your boy has it. This time I knew I kept it somewhere. Every time I have a stat, I lose it, and it takes me 40 minutes to find it. But here we go. So, cannot wait for this game. But this might be the wildest stat you guys are going to hear. And I'm just going to read it from my phone because I don't feel like fucking trying to find it on the computer. But since Winnipeg's opening round loss to the St. Louis Blues in 2019, which was Cup year for the Blues. Let's fucking go. Best year in NHL history. Actually, the NHL they basically quit keeping records after 2019. Everything that's happened since 2019 does not fucking matter. But all right, so since that opening round loss to the St. Louis Blues in 2019, Winnipeg have yet to win a single playoff game following a loss in a playoff series. So
Really?
Montreal, they lost 4 straight.
COVID year. Oh yeah,
Vegas,
yeah.
4 straight. Colorado, 4 straight. Blues, now 2 straight.
Wow, that's a fascinating stat. Wow.
So Connor Hellebuck, best goalie on planet Earth when he's on, but my God, I don't think I realized what a head case this guy was. Like, I did not realize that he gets rattled, and once he gets rattled, he is kind of fucked from that point on.
Well, can I pull the curtains back for 2 seconds? Somebody was at Game 4.
Yeah, oh yeah, Big Daddy was at Game 4. Did you see who's going to be at Game 6?
No, I'm scared
John
now.
Gruden.
Oh, he's gonna be nice and icy for the
The
crowd.
Gruden Grinder will be in the house on Friday in St. Louis, Missouri. They're flying him in for the game. Let's fucking go, dude. So we're gonna have the boy there. The game on Sunday was nuts. I mean, obviously it was a noon game. You never know how to feel about those. I always have a bad feeling about noon hockey games.
It's such a those guys are creatures of habits, and it just totally fucks them up. So it's like it's either gonna be 2-1 or they're gonna play like a 7-5 game because they're all fucking
Yeah, like
nuts.
I didn't feel good. I mean, I felt a little better because obviously, game 3 we put our foot in Connor Hellebuck's ass, got him pulled, beat the shit out of him in game 3. Then game 4, I'm like, again, noon games, they just give you a weird feeling. Like we had club access and stuff, so we were in there, and like before the game, they were serving brunch,
That is weird to say
and it was
out
just like,
loud.
yeah, it was so weird. Like before the first period, we ate biscuits and gravy and like shit like that, and it was just like it just felt weird. But either way, it didn't turn out weird because we beat the shit out of him again. Connor Hellebuck, just 2 games in a row, we got him pulled. St. Louis fans were just on him. They were, as soon as we scored first goal, they were doing the Connor chants, and then they pulled him, and then they got the "We want Connor" chants because they
Yep.
pulled him and they wanted him back, and it was just it was brutal. Like it is not. It was they are like, I mean, I don't know that stat we just read. Maybe they're not excited to be back in Winnipeg, but they've got to be at least a little excited to be the fuck out of St. Louis, Missouri. That is
The
for sure.
the whiteout will be real in Winnipeg tonight. The original whiteout.
Yeah,
It's
and
just
this is the series for them, I think.
oh yeah, they you need to win game 5 to free roll and to St. Louis for game 6 because you've got game 7 in your back pocket.
Yeah, I mean,
Where
because I think we can all agree that if the Blues lose tonight, still back against the wall, but at least they're going back to a building that they've just absolutely kicked. And I'm pretty sure they're like 14-0 in their last game. It's 14 in St. Louis. They haven't lost in St. Louis since like the first week of February.
yep, yeah,
So
that
it's
probably
like,
sounds
you
right.
got to be feeling pretty good. Even if they lose tonight, you got to be feeling pretty good coming into St. Louis on Friday. So, yeah, pretty but brutal series for. I mean, I don't know. It just that was, the Blues looked really good in both the losses. I think that it was basically like they won 2 periods of both those games, and Winnipeg just scraped by.
Y-
So
Yeah, you could easily say that it could be 3-1 St. Louis in Winnipeg tonight. So it's gonna be a fun game. It's like, but hey, Nick, if I would have told you that you would have been in playing game 5 and it was the series was tied at 2, you would have been like, okay, we got a chance. You would have
oh
taken that
yeah, I
every day
mean,
of the week.
yeah, I mean, I feel pretty good about where we're at. I mean, like I said, I said before the series, right? I mean, it's the best team in hockey playing the hottest team in hockey, and in the playoffs, that really all that matters. The best team in hockey. I mean, we've seen it years and years and years and years have passed before. Obviously, there's been teams. I think Chicago ended up doing it. I think Pittsburgh have done it. I think there's a handful of teams
Oh yeah,
that have done the President's Trophy and then went on to win it. Like that kind of curse has been broken. But we've seen it time and time again, right? Where the best team in hockey. I mean, the Blues. They've got one. They've got one President's Trophy in my life. Well, I think in their whole existence, and they got swept in the first round. So it's just
remember that LA Kings team that won a Stanley Cup and they were the 8th seed and they went and rolled through
that
everybody?
That LA Kings, yeah, that is one of my least favorite teams. Like that team, Dustin Brown,
That was an ugly, ugly, hard nosed lunge pail. We're gonna beat you 2-1, and there's not a damn thing you can do
dude.
about
Jonathan
it.
Quick was just unbeatable,
Yeah,
dude.
it's like Jonathan Quick, give up less than 2 goals, we win hockey game. The end.
Yeah, but really, we've seen a lot. I mean, so we've seen a couple teams go home already. We've got New Jersey. They went home last night. They lost. They went to overtime. They lost last night. So I'm sure we're going to see some changes in New Jersey. I know we saw, was who else has gone home?
Nobody else has gone home yet. So we got the series. We got Jets and Blues tied at 2. Dallas went and won at home against Colorado. They're up 3-2. Vegas is up 3-2 going to Minnesota. Edmonton finally played a little bit of defense and beat the Kings, so they're up 3 games to 2.
We
Uh,
picked Kings in our. I think we picked the Kings in our bracket, didn't we?
Dale was like, they're not going to lose for the
Yeah, I mean,
4th year in a
look, I mean,
row.
I think
You were trying to talk me out of that one. That's
yeah,
fine.
I mean, I like watching the Oilers play. I mean, but again, like it's same thing with Toronto. Like, look, I liked watching Toronto play, but my goodness, right? I mean, is this going to happen? I mean, is this going to happen?
You had to logically talk me off. Like that was my heart trying to pick that, but like when the parents were down this weekend, so we were playing cards and watching the game, and Toronto had a 4-minute power play in overtime and didn't score.
Dude, I mean, it just
It was
feels
like,
like
yeah,
I mean, I hate to use that word curse, but like Jesus Christ, dude. Like there are like okay, so I remember you tagged me in a few weeks ago, or you sent me something about like the hardest teams to be fans of,
Oh
and
yeah, 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 yep.
and I definitely think that the Browns are, or who was it? The Browns and who
It
was
was
the
the
other one?
Oakland. It was like the Browns, Oakland, because it was each major sport. It was the Browns, Oakland, the Washington Wizards. Oh, was it the Leafs? That was the other hardest
I
one.
was gonna say the Leafs have got to be on there. I mean,
Yeah.
like the good thing with the Leafs are at least like they're really good all the time. They just can't get past anything. Like they just get to the playoffs and forget how to do anything. And like they do lose in epic fashion. I mean, this is up 3-0. You're down the Senators. Game 4 was close, right? Senators, scrape by, get that win. But then game 5, right? Here we are at home, 4-0. That's not good. You're getting blanked at home by the Senators. Now they're going back to fucking Ottawa, right? It's like, God, dude, that is. What do you think? Like, bottom of your reached. I mean, look down at your ball sack and just ask it. As a Canadian, is Toronto going to fuck this up, or are they going to? You think they at least at the very least get like put the hammer home and get past Ottawa here? What do you think?
Okay, I will look at my ball sack in 2 seconds. When I was in Toronto for the 1 year of my life, I think I've told you this story, but they played Tampa in game 7 of the first round. And I went not as a fan of either team. I just wanted to see pure joy or pure fucking pain. And I have goosebumps on me right now because it was so painful watching those fans lose. Like it's like their dog died and then they got kicked in the nuts and then their car got T-boned. Like it was just that kind of pain. All right, looking at the ball sack. Toronto's better. Toronto finds a way to win in 7, but I don't think they win in Ottawa.
God, that's. I think if they get to 7, they might fuck that up. I don't
Well,
know.
and that's the thing. When it gets to game 7, don't matter what Ottawa does. Ottawa loses it. Well, we were down 3 games to none. Who fucking cares? Like all the pressure in the world is
Yeah, I
on
mean, even
Austin
now the
Matthews.
pressure, right? I mean,
Oh,
even now
absolutely.
the pressure's all on Toronto. I mean, like you said, what does Otto have to lose? They're down 3-0. They've already clawed back 3-2.
And like if Florida finishes off this series, well, I took Tampa tonight, but just saying that if Florida finishes this series tonight,
What's up,
uh,
Under?
oh hey under, um, like that team needs red. Like that series against Florida. Oh boy, don't you have fun with that fucking asshole group team. You get to have the corpse of
Is
Pierre
that who
Turk.
Toronto plays?
They'll get Florida. You'll get the Kachucks. You'll get everybody's.
Ooh, Kachuk versus Kachuk.
Oh God, imagine if
If
we got.
Ottawa, well, I guess if Ottawa goes,
Oh God, could you imagine if those two chuck the Nucks in? Oh God, those two are gonna be
man, it was cool.
assholes to each
Sunday,
other.
I got well right now the Blues in Winnipeg, the Braden and Luke Shen are playing against each other.
Yep,
So
that's
it
right.
was
I
kind of
forgot
funny
about that.
that Braden Shen and they were involved in a skirmish on Sunday where like they weren't out going after each other at all, but like they were in the same skirmish and one guy was pulling, he was pulling another guy away. Like Luke was kind of breaking it up kind of thing, but it's just, it's cool when you get this. But the Kachucks, yeah, that's like a.
God, which Kachuk is more of a rat? There's a fun question.
I would probably say
I
Matthew.
I would say Matthew too. I think Matthew is more of a rat, where Brady might just be more of the. I'm just gonna cross check you in the face, where
Brady
Matthew's
looks
just
like the
gonna.
guy they kidnapped in the Goonies.
It's so fucking. We had this conversation, I think, during the Four Nations. How did they both come, and one looks like he's like a model, and the other looks like he hit every branch of the fugly tree on the way
Dude,
down?
Matthew Kachuk could fuck anything walking. Braden Kachuk, I mean, poor guy. People try to give him like people when he goes to the bank, they try to give him a sucker. You know what I'm saying? Like they're like, "What color sucker do you want?" He's like, "What?"
I get to pick the color. Thank you.
He's like, "Wait, what?" They're like,
Can I have?
"Sir, don't
Can I
do
have?
you want sucker?" He's like, "What?" He's like looking around like, "What the fuck is going on here?"
Can I
But then
have
he,
green?
but then of
No.
course, since he is a fucking an animal, he does obviously pick one out. He eventually picks a sucker out and walks away. Still doesn't know what happened, but yeah, I mean, it's just that'd be a great series. I mean, I think Toronto probably pulls it off too. But I mean, I'm looking at these games tonight. I think both these series are going to get wrapped up tonight. I think Canadians are going to go home. I think Capitals up 2-0 right now.
Yeah.
Beginning of the second, so Canadians still got time, but Washington, I just think Washington and Ovechkin. I know Ovechkin says he's coming back next year, but I'm just going to tell you right now, if the Capitals go and win the Stanley Cup somehow this year, I don't think that
It's
happens.
it's hard. Like, how many guys get to leave on their terms?
After breaking Gretzky's scoring record, I mean, it would be like the perfect walk off.
It's just about as perfect as Ric Flair retiring the very first at the time that he should have retired. Like, you
Yeah, and
can't make
it's
that
just like
shit up.
and it's like you've always been such a durable guy. You just broke the leg, like it's like I think your body's starting to I think it's catching up to you a little bit. Like how long are you going to be able to eat hot Cheetos and drink Cokes and Pepsis and stuff like he does? Like I mean, eventually, but he's already against father. I mean, he's already done the incredible, doing things we didn't think he was going to be doing. Like he's already kind of defying that. So who knows?
You just don't want to watch those kind of guys have the Carl Malone with the Lakers, the Michael Jordan with the Wizards, those kind of things. You just don't not so much Gretzky with the Rangers for a hockey one, but kind of, right? Like, you just don't want that.
Yeah. So we'll see. It'd be cool to see the Blues Capitals finals would be pretty fun. That'd be a cool fucking finals. But
That Capitals Carolina series will be fast and fun.
yes,
That'll
it
be
will.
some.
Carolina, what is they're up 3-2. They're the ones
No,
that
they're
sent home the Devils. So they sent home the Devils 4-1. I was watching a little. Who ended up winning this? So the Golden Knights ended up winning in overtime last night. I was watching some of that game, but I flipped that off to watch the Kings Oilers.
Oh God, could you imagine? Like, oof, man, if we got Vegas, Edmonton again. Oof, yes,
Yeah. So
please.
the Blues, they would get winner of that series, right?
No, they stay. The Blues will get Dallas or Colorado.
Dallas or Colorado, bro. I give me either fucking one of them.
Ooh, who would you prefer?
Dallas.
I was gonna say Colorado just can score so much at times that I think Dallas has better goaltending, but Colorado has a better team.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's a tough one. Both of those are gonna be a tough series. But I mean, to be honest with you, like this is how I feel about it. I mean, if we can get past Winnipeg, like I feel pretty good about it. I mean, then against the playoffs, but I do feel like we kind of got like the biggest hump over the way. I think Winnipeg is the best team in the playoffs. Probably at least in the Western Conference. So but yeah, I mean, I that'll be good. I mean, that right now, like I was saying before, that'll be the game, or that'll be the series for the Jets tonight. I mean, we're gonna have to go. We have to see what the Jets do tonight. The Jets can have, so right now you can get the Blues at plus 150. I mean, if you're feeling good and you're feeling like you can, the Blues can win 3 in a row, which I mean, they just came off a 12 game. I mean, if there's the Blues are a team that have proven this year that if they get rolling, dude, like get the fuck out of the way, right? I mean, these guys are just their floor checks on incredible. Their goal scoring. I mean, Binnington, like I said, Binnington can be the worst goalie on planet Earth, but let Binnington like get in the zone and like he's in it, right? I mean, the guy is stand on his head the other night. I mean, we got rolled over in that first period Sunday, like bad. Like it was like 20. They had like 20 shots in the first quarter or first period. It was like, it was just we were getting rolled. I think we had like 6 shots, like just couldn't get anything going. And then it like so Bennington just kept us in it big time. And without him, and then we just turned the tide in the second and third, just kicked the shit out of them. But because we went down 1-0 in that game, and then
Right.
fucking just dirt star punch, just asshole punch. That's all it was, dude. Just right in the fucking sphincter. And we just never stopped. So it'll be good. So if you think the Blues are going to win it plus 150, that'll be good. But if the Blues lose, we got another chance on Friday. Well, I mean, we're going to see Friday either way. So, but I do think these other two end up tonight. And then we've got some basketball, which we've actually, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. All right. So we do have a basketball game going on right now, and the Rockets are rearranging Golden State's guts right now. We are 54-29 right now in the second quarter. Holy shit. And if that looks bad, if that looks familiar, it does, because we've seen a lot of blowouts in these playoffs. The Cavaliers, woo, biggest playoff differential in NBA history, baby. Plus 100. They were a plus 122.
What did they win that the getaway game? Like, did they win that like 45 or something ridiculous?
Brother,
They were up by 50 at some point.
brother.
Yes. That's
they quit counting, I think.
That is fast math. That is 138 to 83. That is 55.
55. It's the biggest like
again?
blowout in playoff history, I think I saw, or one of the biggest ones. And they lost by they lost by damn near this much. 124 to 87. What's that?
97, 107, 117, 130. That's 37.
So, not as bad. They improved. And after Tyler Hero walked to the podium with Cleveland's foot still wedged in his ass. So he had to stand up while he did this press conference. And while he's standing there with said foot dangling out of his ass, Tyler Hero says, "Well, we're not going down 4-0. You sad bitch. Yeah, you are, because you just went out there 2 days later and you played a worse fucking game. That's embarrassing. And just like Big Chuck said, you guys don't even get to go to Cancun. You know where you guys are going? Galveston, Texas, with that dirty-ass water. That's where you guys are going, where that dirty-ass water washes up in Galveston, Texas, with them big old ladies down in Galveston, Texas. And you're not getting a plane. You're not getting a bus. You're all driving there on your own. That's where you guys are going. That's what you guys deserve, because you quit. He straight up says, like Ernie Johnson. Yeah, how many games do you think Inside the NBA has watched on? I mean, in its history, how many fucking games? Thousands. And they were like, Ernie Johnson goes, "I really think this is the worst game I've ever watched." And Chuck was like, as we say, is like, "Do they quit?" Like, this is like the highest form of quitting right here.
Yeah, there is. That takes some special. God, like Pat Riley is the face of that franchise. That dude will fight anything. He will do anything, and that team folded like a folding chair in a fucking windstorm. That was embarrassing. Like think about it. I know John Morant got hurt, and I know we'll talk about that. But the Thunder were down by 29 in Game 3.
29.
And they came back. They could have just been like, well, we're gonna lose. It's okay. We'll get another home game in against a home date. Make the team a few extra $1 million. Who fucking no.
Yeah, we're still gonna roll this series. Yeah. So who gives a shit?
And it would have anybody been surprised if they just fell asleep at the wheel for one game and win it in 5?
No.
No.
I mean, I even said I thought the Cavs had a better chance at losing a game than OKC. I mean, I didn't expect either. I thoroughly believe. I mean, if you can go back and watch. And by the way, Unders, I completely agree. I've always said this: NHL, there is not a better playoff than the NHL. There isn't. The NBA, NFL, none of it. There just isn't. NFL, the single elimination makes it cool and everything, but it's one of those things where it's like the best team doesn't always win. And I guess there's excitement to that as well. The best team doesn't always win; just the best team that day. But MLB playoffs are obviously. I would even put MLB over NBA. I mean, I would go NHL, NFL, MLB. I would personally, I would think I'd go NHL, MLB, NFL, NBA tie, because I do like the NBA playoffs. I think they're great. But like you said, there's so many fucking blowouts, and then you go to hockey, and every other game's going to fucking overtime. You got it doesn't even matter. You know what I mean? Like, it's like you got teams that are down 3-0. It doesn't matter. Them guys are still trying to go to overtime. Like they'll get eliminated in like a triple overtime game.
Like the perfect way to explain it is look at the Magic Celtics series. Magic stole Game 3. but Boston was never in doubt they were going to lose that series. Why don't we ask how the Leafs are feeling about playing Game 6 now against the Senators?
Right. I mean, it's so fun. Like, and
Yep.
I've always said there is not a more rewarding trophy to lift over your head than the Stanley Cup. It's just you have just went through the most grueling sport in the world, or not, I mean, not in the world, but one of definitely of the major American sports. You guys have played. Everyone's hurt in the playoffs in every sport. You guys have played a long year, but you're rolling on skates. You get the shit beat out of you. You're missing teeth. You'll find out guys are playing. I mean, you'll find out a guy had a torn ACL after the fucking NHL play. Like, it's the craziest shit.
Do you remember when Peter Forsberg finally in like the third round they had to take him out because he had a fucking sliced spleen,
A ruptured spleen.
and he was playing through it.
Peter Forsberg played through a ruptured spleen. I think he missed like the whole next year after that.
But he got it out 2 rounds, and it was finally halfway through the third round. We're like, we can't medically.
Like, you're gonna die.
Yes, exactly. You take the wrong shot, you're dead on the ice.
That's fucking crazy. And like
guys that will have a shattered ankle and they fucking freeze it, throw it in the boot, and then you get out there.
Yeah, I mean, it's fucking nuts. I mean, like hockey, like I said, you're like, yeah, hockey players are the guys who are like, I know it's broken, just leave the skate on, because the moment we pull that skate off, my foot is gonna balloon up like a goddamn. We're never getting it back in there, and I know I'm missing games, so just leave the bitch on there. So either way, I mean, like I said, I am 100% with you on that. Like, you're gonna get way better games watching NHL. But I truly thought, like I was saying a minute ago, my original point, 100% thought Cavaliers were going to lose the game in Miami. I just thought out of all those teams, Miami's going to go get one. Tyler Hero go off. Garland didn't even play in the last 2 games. They just said, brother, we don't need you. Just chill. So they took care of it. In the last game, DeAndre Hunter went nuts. It's a beautiful goddamn thing. I mean, last night we saw some excitement. The NBA playoffs, again, like I said, I do love the NBA playoffs. Last night we got a lot of excitement. We got the Pacers eliminating the Bucks last night, and we've got a little bit of heated tension between Tyrese Halliburton's father and Giannis. They got face to face last night. I don't know if anybody saw that. Apparently, Giannis apparently this guy is a problem throughout the league. They say that Stephen A. Smith came out today and said that he's heard from like plenty of people around the league that Tyrese Halliburton's dad is very well known for this. He doesn't even. It's different from like T Morant, John Morant's dad. Like those guys, they'll get involved, but it's usually after a player chirps and they start chirping back. It's a kind of like a friendly. Apparently this guy just sits courtside and just jaws, like he just runs his mouth, calls him names, like just real ignorant shit. Which, whatever. I mean, I love Tyrese Halliburton, right? Love him. I think he's one of the top 5. He is a top 5 point guard in the league, and I'll fucking die on that. He's that good. He's a superstar. I think he's that good. Is he one of the most hateable guys in the NBA? 100%. I mean, he's fucking annoying looking. He's annoying acting. The Pacers are annoying. Like, there's the clip. Let me see if I can watch this. I'm sure they're gonna hate me for this. We're definitely getting we're going to get copywritten for this, but TJ McConnell, like, look at this. Here's like a perfect example. This sums up the Pacers in 10 seconds. Okay. Here's Tyler or TJ McConnell. Look at this.
Indiana, the number 4 seed.
Oh, you didn't see me laughing in your face the first time? Here, let me go around the ref to make sure you saw it again. Ha ha! Right in your. Right? I mean, they're not, but they back it up. They can do what they want. They went to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. They're back in the driver's seat now. Now playing the Cavs. Now they get Cavs Pacers starting on Saturday.
That's going to be a fun series.
That's going to be a fun series. But this is fun. I like this. Like, I know a lot of people were mad today. They were like, oh, we got to get him out. You know, he should never sit courtside. Ryan Clark, of course, Ryan Clark, you know, he should never sit court. He should never be in another NBA game. Brother, this is what is missing. Like, I love this shit. Like, I would. Pacers Bucks. Let's not forget this all started. Pacers Bucks. This all started because remember when Giannis had that crazy game? I forget what the fuck he did, and the Pacers wouldn't give him the ball. Do you remember that? And he like ran back into the tunnel like that. Give me my ball. You know, like freaked out over that fucking ball. They've never repaired that. It's just been a beef since over a goddamn basketball.
The NBA is like the pace. Remember Reggie Miller and Spike Lee? The NBA wants. There's a fine line for that amount of interaction. But the NBA is kind of okay if you have the right person grinding some players' gears on the road.
Yeah, no,
okay with that.
I love a little beef, dude.
Yeah, it's like just finding the right line where that's probably all right. Telling them to choke on a dick. Yeah, you know, you gotta pick and choose your spots.
And we're getting in a few different, you know, the couple of these are getting chippy. I mean, Nuggets, Clippers, that one's getting chippy. If you guys remember a couple days ago, Jamal Murray, you know, ran into, was it, who was it that picked him up? Was it Harden? Somebody picked him up, and then they got into it. And then the other night they're getting into it again, where they're swinging and I think it was Aaron Gordon that got into it. So that's getting pretty chippy. I picked the Clippers in that series. I really thought the Clippers were going to win that series, especially when you got. I don't know. There was a clip that came out of game 2 or 3 in this series where they had the camera on Jokic, and in between timeouts, he's literally yelling at people on the floor to tell who subs and who subs out, who subs in. It's like he is the coach. Yeah. So I really thought the Clippers were going to win this series, and they still might. Down 3-2. This is the best series. This and Pistons and Knicks are the best series. Pistons Knicks 3-2. The Knicks have had some pretty outrageous reffing in their favor in this series, but Pistons come back the other night. Cade Cunningham is just a dog. I talked to Yiddy about this. Talked to Yiddy for quite a while about this the other day. That would be a place I'd love to see Giannis go. Because look, I think Giannis is out. Let's go back to that for a sec. So obviously, okay. So Magic went home last night too. Fuck the Magic. People really thought that. Dale and I laughed at all you pussies who thought that was going to be an upset. Everybody, oh yeah, what an upset that's going to be. Shut up. No, it's not. So the Magic did get one, but I'm pretty sure Jason Tatum didn't even play that game.
Yeah, and they hit that plus 155 for me for the Celtics to win in 5. That was a very nice side bet for me.
You love that. Let's fucking go, baby. So yeah, had no faith in them. Fuck the Magic. So not surprised there at all. So they went home, and like I said, the other 2 are 3-2. So let's go back to the Bucks for a sec. Bucks are going home. I would assume Doc Rivers is getting the fuck out of there. Which I would assume that whoever was responsible for Doc Rivers, get him out. That whole firing the guy, whoever that guy, I forget what his name was, winning record, everything just to bring in Doc Rivers, and everything is just kind of gone to shit. Whatever. I think Giannis is out of there. I think Giannis wants to get the fuck out of there. I think teams like the Lakers are going to look at him. I saw, there was this hypothetical trade between the Cavs, like with Darius Garland, Jared Allen, and some picks. I definitely think there's going to be some crazy, where could Giannis go? Right. And I think that Giannis as a Piston would be disgusting. Him and Cade Cunningham with Durant or whatever, but I think him and where was Big Perk saying he'd be nasty last night? Where the fuck was he saying? Not the Knicks, not Brooklyn, not Timberwolves. Where the fuck did he say he would be good? I'm trying to remember. Was it Houston?
Houston would be interesting just because they got like that young core.
Miami. Was where he says he thinks Giannis should go.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, so I think the sweepstakes are wide open, but I think the Bucks Pistons. Do you think he's probably out of there?
Yes. like I don't think there's really much holding him there. And hey Nick, if you could live in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, or Miami, Florida, don't forget one of the big things that I've learned is Florida has no income state tax.
Yep,
So that
making
money is
lots of money down there
yep,
in Miami. Nice weather, nice girls, nice everything.
yep,
Money, no tax. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. I mean, I definitely think, and I agree. I don't think anything's holding him with Milwaukee. He's given him a title,
yep.
one of the most impressive titles that we've seen in the last 10, 15 years, right? The guy stays home, gets it in Milwaukee, does it the right way. Poor shot to Damian Lillard, love Damian Lillard. Sucks that he, I don't know what's going to happen with Damian Lillard, right? 35 years old, tearing his ACL. It was an Achilles or an ACL.
Oof, yeah, it didn't look good.
Didn't look good. I think he's going to the Lakers. Austin Reeves goes to Milwaukee. So that's what Big Park was saying last night too. It'd have to be what do other teams value in Austin Reeves? And me and him both do think he could be a centerpiece. I think he's pretty damn good. But does Milwaukee think he can be a centerpiece? Because it will definitely be Austin Reeves will 100% be involved in the trade. Lakers need a big. I agree, and that's why I think they're going to lose this series. I mean, tonight again, this is a series. Well, obviously, this is the series for the Lakers. They can't lose another one, but Alex Len, please, the next time you're out and about, pick up a fucking CDL application, please. Get your CDL, fill it out, start reading the booklet. Get out of the NBA. This is a guy that's in the NBA because he's tall, he's ass. That guy, you are 7 foot, brother. Throw your fucking hands up. Put your hands in the air. That's all you got to do. You don't even have to play defense. Just stand straight up. Put your fucking hands straight up. You know how many people in the United States of America can shoot over a 7-footer with his hand straight up in the air? Not fucking many. Probably under 5%. So, Alex, just stick your fucking hands up. Alex Len, you're also 7 feet. You know what that means? That on the other end, you could probably stand on your tippy toes and set the bitch in the basket. So, can you just fucking try? Can you just act like you have a little bit of a prowess to play the NBA? Because you suck dick. You're fucking terrible. You are shit. And then you got Jackson Hayes, who, yeah, he looked pretty cool for a sec. I mean, I praised him hardcore. He's had some moments this year, but he's not doing dick right now. Where the fuck is Jackson Hayes? Is he even healthy? Is Jackson Hayes playing basketball? Who fucking knows, right? But they need a big. And then you get Giannis, Luka, and LeBron. I mean, hello.
Like I was the one that was really thought the Lakers were not in trouble because that makes me sound way too smart. But I thought that Minnesota was going to cause them. Like I thought that was a 7-game series because Minnesota can play enough. The question was, can Minnesota score enough? Because they'll play enough defense to keep these games low scoring. And LeBron not being 100% healthy sure doesn't hurt that.
And that's my question. My question to you. I've been reading this hardcore. By the way, 76-49 at the half for the Rockets. So Rockets need all the help they can get. Can't believe this is 3-1. I thought this was another 7-game series. The Golden State's been turning on. Jimmy Butler's got an ass contusion. Couldn't move all last game. Just turns into super god in the fourth quarter. So keep an eye on that game. Rockets could be going home tonight. But yeah, Lakers, Timberwolves. Oh my God, I just had a fucking point. Dude, I had a point.
Oh no. It's coming back.
Yeah, so I got it. I had to just think about it for a second. LeBron James, him losing this series with Luka Doncic, what you personally say he gets sent home tonight, 4-1, Lakers gone. Does this affect his overall legacy?
No, absolutely not.
Thank you. I agree. There are so many people that go, well, this just eliminates him from that conversation. I think it said Charles Barkley said it officially makes him not a top 5 player. Excuse me?
You are remember, your man is 3 months older than LeBron James.
He's 40.
He is 40. I
He's
am
40.
41, so I guess it's 9 months, so I'm 9 months older. Anyways, we're born in the same year.
Daly's 40.
I know. He is 40, and he is trying to put a team on his back. He is
40.
fighting
38-point triple doubles. He's 40.
Exactly. Fucking Nick can't even lift a box, and he's in his early 30s.
I fucking have been laying on my back for 2 days. I'm 32 for less than 2 months. What up, big dog? What up, Sports Lab in the hell? I'm 32. I've been rolling around like a dead man for 2 fucking days. LeBron James is yamming on motherfuckers. I understand that Luka, because everybody's like, oh, well, he went and got Luka. This has got to be. But, dude, they have no, Understood, they have no bigs. None. And none of us are here. We will all agree that Luka Doncic, when it comes to playing defense, there is not much there. We will agree there. And if there's ever been a series that's been put on full display, it's been this one. It's been bad. I know.
It's the worst matchup the Lakers could have got. If they would have got Golden State, they could have run with them. Like this,
I agree.
This is the worst matchup they could get because they're getting a team that knows that they can't score 130 a night. They have to say, boys, we got to play. We got to play to keep them under 110. We do that, we're gonna have a chance most nights. And
I agree, dude. I just it's a bad matchup, and.
Yeah.
And yeah, they need a big. They need a big. And yeah, I'm with the underdog. If they go and get Giannis, which I think they could do with the right pieces and that'd be nasty. I mean, of course, they would never, ever let LeBron hear the end of that, right? If he ended up getting Luka and fucking Giannis, but I don't know. We'll see what happens with the Lakers tonight. I mean, we're gonna be tuning in. That'll be 9:00 tonight. I will be sweating that, and well, obviously, I mean, I'll be watching the Blues a little bit more intently.
It'll be flipping back and forth.
Yeah, I'll be switching back and forth. Definitely a turnstile on defense. Not much Sports Lab, dude. We're just jaw jacking, stacking. You know what we're doing. Been nice to be back. Haven't been live in a fucking in days.
Remember the last time we were live?
I do remember. We're gonna get into that here in just a second.
Yeah.
We are gonna get into the draft.
Yeah,
We'll get into the draft. I do want to, before we get into the draft, 'cause we're going to end on the draft, and I don't know if the front office is coming tonight. He's had some internet problems.
No shit.
So he may or may not have that fixed by the time we get wrapped up here. But I do want to. I read these. I had these 2 wrestling things set aside that I did not say last show, and I totally forgot, and I saw them today again while I was going through the Discord, and I think we got to bring them up.
Please do. I do like the wrestling.
So the first one here this is a pick your brand. So they're going to give you I'm going to give you 3 contracts. This is the shorter of the 2. The second one's kind of a long one that I'm going to read, but
okay.
I'm going to show you 3 contracts. We'll read through them, and then you're going to tell me which of these 3. There's a Raw, a SmackDown, and an NXT contract. So I want to know which one of these 3 you would sign.
Okay.
So the Raw contract, even if you read ahead and decide to pick, wait till we get through them to throw me out an answer. So
I will close my eyes and listen. Go ahead.
So for the Raw contract, it is a 12-month, a 1-year contract.
Okay.
You will make $500,000. That'll be your salary. So $500K is your salary.
Okay.
So 12 months, $500K. Your role will be upper mid-carder. So you will be, towards the top. You're not at the top, but you're there. People are watching. Your mentor, Hunter Helmsley himself, Triple H.
Triple H. Okay, this sounds all right.
Your bonus is you get showcased on TV every week.
Okay, so you're we'll be fighting for IC/US title, or be in that picture pretty consistently. And if you're not, you're going to have a storyline that's going to
right. You're cutting promos. You're there.
Okay, gotcha.
So that's your Raw contract.
Okay, gotcha.
We'll go SmackDown next, just because I don't know. We'll just go in order. We'll go NXT last. So SmackDown. We probably should have started with NXT. SmackDown, another 12 months, so 1 year. 1-year contract.
Yep.
You're making a little bit more money, $750K a year.
Okay.
You're a lower mid-carder, so a little bit more money, a little less role.
Okay, yep.
Your mentor here is Stephanie McMahon.
Oh,
That might be the
okay.
killer right there.
Yeah,
But your bonus,
Mhm.
guaranteed match at WrestleMania.
So you're getting a guaranteed good payday. Okay.
So that's your SmackDown. 12 months, 750K, lower mid Carter, Stephanie McMahon, guaranteed match at WrestleMania.
Okay.
And that is against 12 months, 500K, upper mid Carter, Triple H, showcased on TV every week for Raw.
Okay. I slightly lean Raw right now, even though it's more
NXT,
money.
this is a good one.
Okay. This is going to be the one I'm intrigued with. Go ahead.
So it's a little longer. It's a whole year longer. 2-year contract,
Okay.
way less money, $250,000 a year.
Yep. I was expecting that.
Your role, though, you are the main eventer. You're a main eventer, one of the big main eventers.
Mm-hmm.
You're mentored by Shawn Michaels, HBK himself, probably the
Yes.
best of the three. And your bonus is a year-long run with the NXT Championship.
Now I can open my eyes. I'm going to ask you a question that might answer this question. And this is Nick, would you rather be the 20 I think I've asked you this before. Would you rather be the 26th man on the MLB roster or the best player in AAA? Cuz that basically is almost the question you're asking.
I mean, this.
Oh, that is the Raw one is or the SmackDown one, even though it's a little more money, I think I would rather take knowing I'm on there every week. I could earn my way to WrestleMania. And I'm always prominent. So the odds of me having that work. Oh god, the NXT one is such a fascinating one. Oh.
Like the 250K is the only I mean, the 2 years, I guess, kind of sucks too. You're kind of locked into 2 years, but the main eventer, you get HBK, who's undoubtedly the best wrestler of all, obviously out of Stephanie and Triple H. And then, you are the champion. So, I mean, but I guess the thing you really got to think about it is that what comes after your WrestleMania match at, like what's your contract? I mean, I guess we're cheating there and you're kind of looking ahead, but like, if you get a guaranteed match at WrestleMania, if it's a good match, I mean, you're probably setting yourself up pretty handsomely, wouldn't you think?
Yes, that's the argument to go with NXT would be if they strap the belt on you and they do it right, you kind of take the short-term money loss, but the rocket strapped to your back to the main roster sounds really good. The problem is that doesn't always mean much. Like Carmelo Hayes is amazing, but Carmelo Hayes is has the SmackDown contract right now.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning I don't know. I think I'd probably go Raw.
I think Raw is
just because people watch it more than all the other ones. You're getting on Netflix and.
I think Raw is the safest of the three options. I think if you are obviously if you want the money, you could if you're more worried about the money, SmackDown, you're perfectly fine. If you want to gamble on yourself, NXT is the way to go. If you want to be safer, you go Raw. So I think I lean Raw, but if I really thought I could, if I really not believed in you are believing in yourself, but if you really
did you believe in Joe Hendry?
What a great which one would Joe Hendry sign? Maybe that's the way to ask.
He would go NXT, dude.
He would go NXT because he's done all the indie.
He's gonna grind his way.
Yeah, he does. I've listened to him talk to Chris Van Vliet for like an hour and a half, and he is a super interesting guy. Actually, the wrestling YouTube channel I follow.
Why David Arquette? Are you talking about fucking Ready to Rumble, dude? Is that what we're talking about right now? The movie Ready? Have you ever seen that movie?
Yes, I have. It's been a long ass time.
I will rule you.
Oh, yeah, nuts.
Isn't that what he says?
Yes. Oh God, what a bad movie. Thank
It's such
God.
a terrible movie, but it's so good. They got all the fucking WCW guys at the end, the triple
Yep.
fucking cage
I
match.
I think John Cena is an extra in the power plant, if I remember correctly. I want to say that maybe that's not. Maybe I'm thinking of a different movie, but I think
Dude,
he's.
what a fucking movie. I will rule you.
So yeah, I think I probably safely take Raw and hope that I can work my way up and be better than Jay Uso or Jimmy Uso and have get myself over, and then I'll make a shit ton of money and I'll hold the belt.
I love it. I'm with you on that, though. It was a good one. So that was one I saw earlier today. But when I put that in the Discord, I saw this one I put in here like a week or two ago. Totally forgot to pull it up. And this is more. You're not really picking anything, but it's a funny Reddit It's a Reddit thread, and it's my 26-year-old husband.
Okay.
So she's a 26-year-old female. He's a 33-year-old male. Is obsessed with pro wrestling, and it's ruining our marriage. Do I leave? So I'm gonna read you this, and you're gonna tell me what you think this chick should do.
Okay.
Okay, so it's kind of long, but after this, we'll hop into the NFL draft. So just strap in, boys. But this is pretty good. So it's gonna be long, but it's good. Throwaway as my husband is on Reddit. My husband was into pro wrestling as a kid, fell out of it, but over the last few years has eased back into it. I've never been a pro wrestling fan. I thought it was something that people watched as kids and grew out of. But he has become obsessed, and it's escalating to a point where I no longer feel comfortable. Apologies, as I may not get all the terms right. I'm exposed to wrestling a lot, but I try to avoid watching it.
Okay.
Said it started harmless enough. He'd watch the pay-per-view events like WrestleMania. Then he started watching recaps of the weekly shows. Now he's glued to the couch every night. There's a live pro wrestling event. He watches multiple wrestling shows, not just WWE. He started spending money, and I mean a lot of money, on merchandise, t-shirts, hats, action figures, the fake belts, etc. I was okay with this, as it was nice to see his passion reignited for something. He's been in a rough spot with work lately, but now pro wrestling is the only thing he cares about. He yells at the TV like he's part of the crowd, cheering or booing when he's watching and when he's not watching. He constantly shouts out their catchphrases randomly. He says things like yeet, acknowledge me, you can't see me, etc. He actually gets irritated if I don't play along with him, like if I don't raise my hand when he says acknowledge me. Says this past weekend was the worst of it. Those of you who know it was WrestleMania. He asked me to refer to him as the final boss ? All weekend. I laughed it off and thought he was joking, but he wasn't. We actually got into an argument about it Saturday evening because he said I wasn't supporting him in the way he needs, and that whenever we're watching wrestling, I look bored and disinterested.
No
I
shit.
look that way because I am. He's got to be watching 15 hours of wrestling a week easily. When Jey Uso won at WrestleMania, he literally jumped on top of our couch, waving his arms. It was embarrassing, and I left the room. I don't want to say too much regarding our intimacy, but he's asked for a lot of role playing lately as well, and it has made me very concerned. The things he's asked me to do, and say make me super uncomfortable. It's all wrestling related. Things have taken a toll on me mentally. It's nonstop. He sends me memes of Roman Reigns and a bunch of other wrestlers. He talks like them, acts like them, demands I participate in little performances. Sunday night, the wrestler he wanted to win didn't win, and it's still affecting him today. His mood's sour. He seems depressed. I hate to admit it, but it's been kind of nice. He hasn't been as loud and noisy as usual. So Reddit, I just need help. I don't think I can deal with it anymore. He sings the songs. He does their sayings. He's got all their t-shirts. He's even got tickets for us to the next show coming in about 3 weeks, but I just don't think I can take it. Should I leave him?
Okay. So I'm not that person, but like there's like Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, be like, hey, X, like, I'm going to watch wrestling tonight. That's it. Yeah, man. Like, if there's nothing wrong with liking wrestling, it's like a guilty pleasure. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. If you're asking your woman to talk like Becky Lynch with an Irish accent in bed, and you're in bed going, whoa, that is a problem.
Dude, Colorado Rockies supposed to had a fan like that right now. I straight up, dude, I think that lady needs to get real, dude.
Yeah, like remember the good times, get the yeet out of there,
Hmm?
and you go and never watch a wrestling event ever again. You have my
Yeah, you guys
blessings,
need to get
lady.
fucked, dude. That lady needs to get real.
Oh God, it's like I remember watching. I've only been to a couple like local wrestling things. I still remember the one guy's just screaming at the heel, and the promoter had to come up to him because he was like ready to go into the ring, and he's like, "Dude, calm down."
That's
Like
fucked.
it's like it's like part of me is like, this guy's a loser. And the other part of me is like, good job, heel, that you can rile somebody up that fucking much.
Dude, I love it. I love the passion. I went to a Raw and I got on the Jumbotron. I had a big delete sign, and I
Yeah,
got the whole crowd to do delete when they showed my sign, which was super sick. And I
yeah,
had my Rowdy Ronda Rousey shirt on. It was so sick. I got to see Brock Lesnar open the show, and I got to see Ronda Rousey close the show. So it was like
nice.
so sick. And then I went to an NXT house show, which was very cool as well. But yeah, I mean, that bitch needs to get real, dude. Let him live,
It's
dude. Let him live.
like,
Acknowledge him, dude.
could you imagine? Hey, babe, by the way, hey, Shan, you're calling me the final boss all weekend long.
All weekend. He says, and she clearly has never met a real Cubs fan. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, poor Cubs fans.
We're going to
Oh,
listen to Pearl Jam all weekend. No. All right,
hey,
before we
you know
get
what?
to the draft, we got a new John Gruden. We have a
Oh,
new John Gruden video.
oh, lay it
So I'm
on
going to
me.
play this real quick before we get in there. So he posted this for the night, for tonight.
All right, game time. St. Louis Blues tonight in Winnipeg. I got my gloves on, I got my helmet on. I'm ready to go. I got Bennington. I got the sponsorship I need. I got Shin, Captain Shin. Buchnevich, get another hat trick. Shut him out, Jordan. Shut him out. I got a can of whoop ass, and we're going to use it tonight. And I'll see you guys Friday night in St. Louis. I can't wait. I haven't slept in 2 days. Wait till you see Friday night. Whoa! Let's get this one. Let's keep this thing going. Let's go. Let's go. I got to figure out this strap. I got the helmet on, but I got to fix the strap. Because we're going to strap it on tonight, baby. Let's go, Blues. All right.
Let's fucking go, dude. That hypes me up so bad.
I'm a Jets fan. And I grew up. The Jets are the closest team for me when I grew up, and until they moved to Atlanta, I was a Jets fan, and I'm like casually a Jets fan now, and I now want to cheer for the Blues tonight. This is outstanding.
Dude, did you see the boxing that he did? The unboxing?
Yes, I did see that. Oh,
Dude, he's fucking.
did-
He's the man.
Did you send me the one where they did the Battlehawks one?
Yeah.
He was fucking that one he was geeked about. Like talk about.
He said he needs to just move to St. Louis.
Oh, he would. Oh, could. I know
He'd fit right in, dude.
He's making so much money off a Barstool, but
It's crazy.
could like he would love to be the Battlehawks head coach and just.
Well, that's my thing. Like, he's always talking about how, like, even when he got to, we just had a bench clearing brawl. Heston Kjerstad and Pablo Reyes get into it, and bench is clear.
Oh, good. They cleared earlier when Hestad got. Oh boy, this is a.
What were we just talking about?
Oh
yeah, the battle. So
Battlehawks, yeah.
when he came to Barstool, he always talked about how, like, he was super open about how he wanted to be like He still was interested in coaching, and he still wanted to go back to coaching. Like, that's like his end goal. I've got to think that he's making pretty stupid fucking money at Barstool. I would almost think that like do you think he's I don't know. Maybe he is making coaching money. I don't know. I mean, you got to be thinking like that. I wonder if that decision is a little bit harder nowadays to be like, you're just hanging around with a bunch of guys that are half your age who treat you like a god, and they've given you like you're basically like you've got your own wing now.
Yeah, your own brand, and there's still probably a little bit of, the coaching ranks might have blackballed him for some of the stuff that has happened. So, he's probably making $3-4 million to just, like put out these videos, and, he seems to enjoy it. He's feeling kind of nicey. Bless his heart. That dude does look like he is one Red Bull away from a heart attack, though.
Says the deals of his contract are not publicly available, but it's a 3-year deal that he's got with Barstool. And it includes a key opt-out clause, and I'm pretty sure that's if he wants to go back to coaching, he can opt out and coach.
Right, which makes sense. Barstool's probably like, give us 6 months guaranteed, and then at any point in time you can opt out.
Yeah. So shout out to John Gruden, baby. Let's fucking go get it for the boy tonight. We got 27 minutes for the game, so let's get into the draft. All right.
How do I put on this chin strap?
Dude, Johnny, loosen up a little bit. You got a fat head, dude.
Yeah,
I saw one of the speaking of NFL draft, one of the draft picks. I forget who it was. It might have even have been a Brown. I don't think it was, but some player the day after the draft. Like so NFL draft this past week, right? A whole past weekend. We were live for it on Thursday. Great time. But apparently, like right after the draft, they're like in the building like the next day, right? Like they're getting flown in, they're picking numbers, doing the shit. One of the guys, I forget who it was, what team, I don't know, but they walked in and they're like, yeah, so this is what the helmet's going to be. And they just showed him a test helmet, and he picked it up and tried to squeeze it onto his fucking head. And halfway down, they're like, oh, no, that's not yours. They're like, that's just the thing. Like, he was like, why didn't this fit? Like, he was trying to squeeze like he was trying to force his fucking head into this prop helmet. And I'm like, brother, they should just cut you right now. But that was funny. So, but NFL draft, baby, that's what it was. If you guys were with us on Thursday, you saw that I was pretty down and out for quite some time. We rebounded. Obviously, we finished strong. We got through the stream. It was a good time. A lot of emotions this weekend. A lot of ups and downs. A lot of fucking what's happening. But I'm not gonna lie. Now that the dust has settled, I feel pretty good.
I was trying to be the glass half full guy when I should have been the glass half full guy, and I apologize.
But it's all right. Hey, there was no glass half full, but getting Shedeur Sanders at 144. Look, I don't know what they're doing. Like I give them a high grade. I mean, most of the people outside of most of the people who grade these things, people outside of fans, like the media and like the people, the insiders, they've all pretty much been high as shit on the Browns on this. I mean, the dust, like I said, I was upset about the pick, the trade at first. I wanted Travis Hunter, and that's only because the Browns never really get the super shiny guy, and I was like, let's fucking just go for it. Let's go get the guy. Let's go get the transcending athlete, right? Well, they didn't do it. The trade happens, and they trade out of it. But that trade has been universally just praised as far as the Browns. I mean, everyone has basically said that the Jaguars got fleeced. I mean, you've got Bill Simmons, you've got Todd McShay. I mean, you got everybody in the world who has a platform talking about how they got fleeced. They're giving up these, they gave up a first round pick next year, all those picks this year for to take a non-quarterback. It's not even getting a quarterback. So you're going up to get a guy who could be a fucking unicorn this year on a bad team. He could be the best receiver in the league and not win shit, right? So big move for the Browns, sets them up early for next year. A lot of people think next year's draft's a lot better. They got 2 first round picks now. They go down to 5. They get Mason Graham, again, not a sexy pick. But again, once the dust is settled, you're very happy to have a guy like that. He's still a trench guy, like you said. He's the best defensive tackle in the draft. So, I think it was a good pick. I think he's going to fit in well. I think he's NFL ready. I think he's one of those guys that's going to step in. I think he's going to make an impact right away. I think him and Miles are going to be pretty nasty back there. But again, I've always said that defense is not our problem. We can have the nasty defense, but you got to have some offense, right? That defense can only be so nasty. And so the Mason Graham pick pissed me off at first. Wasn't very happy with it. Second pick, again, not a very sexy one with Carson Schlesinger, right? But again, these are things that like you're again, as a Browns fan, I admit that I went into it going, look, I just want shiny players. I want to feel good about this. I want something to be excited about.
Yeah.
But once you sleep on it and kind of realize what's going on, I mean, Sweat's your best linebacker in the draft, right? Best, the guy just had a blow up year last year, led the league in tackling, or led the college football in tackling. The guy's just an absolute fucking beast, best downhill tackler in the draft. So you bolster him there. Then you go get Quinshon Judkins, right? Who's pretty much is Nick Chubb coming back. There was already a little bit of a chance that he may, right? So Quinshon Judkins, that kind of lowered it a little bit more. And then of course their next pick, Dylan Sampson out of Tennessee, pretty much solidifies that you're not going to get Nick Chubb back. You got whole new running back room, which I'm very excited about. Look, it's a bittersweet moment, right? I don't want to get rid of Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb is my favorite if he might be my favorite football player of all time. I mean, he's that good. He's always been, just a come to work, get shit done, most underrated back in the league. He's just incredible. But 2 major knee surgeries, the guy, I'm not going to lie, his posts are getting me. I mean, he's squatting 500. He saw what we just did in the draft, right? He sees that we just picked 2. So now he's ramping up his online presence. He's doing the Nick Chubb squats. He's hurdling fucking, bison, whatever the fuck he does. All the shit that you're going, all right, well, that looks like Nick Chubb to me, So it sucks, it's bittersweet, but you get 2 great running backs to fill out the room. So you get a brand new running back room. Jerome Ford's still there, but whatever. Pierre Strong's still there, whatever. So I like that. And then you go get Harold Finan, who great tight end, right? He had the most, I think he had like 1,500 receiving yards or 1,700 receiving yards, something crazy, like yards after catch monster, just an absolute dog. And then you get Dylan Gabriel, right? Maybe the biggest surprise of the draft.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It sounded like the Browns. Sorry to interrupt. It sounded like the Browns had like a fucking hard on for him.
Dude, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It sounds like that's the guy they wanted. That's the guy he was higher on the draft board. They targeted him. I don't know. I mean, look, I told you, 5'11", left-handed Hawaiian. I want nothing to do with it. And there's nothing wrong with being Hawaiian, 5'11", and left-handed, but it's never worked out. Tua is the guy that's worked out the most, and even he's not worked out. So I don't have any faith in that build. I know the guy's a winner, 3 colleges, 30 touchdowns, under 10 interceptions everywhere he goes. The guy's a dog. I mean, the guy knows how to play, but I don't look. I have to see it. Like, he has to prove it to me in the NFL. 3rd round pick, they use the capital on him. I don't know what they're going to do, right? Again, so they round out the draft, taking Shador 144. They trade up with the Eagles. They grab him at 144, which means they at least wanted him at that price, right? At that value. I don't know if that was their plan. I would assume it probably was not. I would assume that he was just there, and they had to take a chance, right? I mean, this is a guy that most people had as the 2nd best quarterback on the draft, and you're getting him in the 5th round. I mean, the fall had nothing to do with his play and had everything to do with last name. And just I think it was the NFL being like, look, we're going to put you in your place. We're going to fucking remind you that, you're not bigger than the game. And it did feel a little dirty.
Yeah, but also, like, you read the things about how unprepared he was for that. Again, you got to take that with a grain of salt. But would it surprise you if the Giants were like, hey, we want you to look at this install package so when we get here, we can just hit the ground running? It sure sounds like, I don't fucking need to do that. I just
Yeah,
won't.
no, I mean, and even now, like, even at, like, the way he talks, like, he sounds super disinterested and everything, but, like, I don't know if that's just the way he is. He's just a calm guy, because, like, even now, like, even when he got drafted by the Browns, he just seemed very, like, oh, all right, like, let's go. I can't wait to get in there and go. But, I mean, like, look, today, Shador Sanders, already at Cleveland schools. He visited some school in Cleveland today, talked to a gym full of kids. It was not on the, it wasn't on the news. There was no social media post. There wasn't, I mean, this guy just, no cameras, nothing, shows up to a school in Cleveland, gives a talk to a gym full of kids, doing his thing. There was, and this is the guy that everybody says, he's all about the media. He's all about the attention, which he is, I mean, he's a Sanders. He wants that, but good start, right? He didn't go out and go visiting a school at this time and this and that and have all the cameras and shit there. Like, he shows up unannounced. There is no announcement. He just shows up, talks to the kids. That was cool.
Did the organic PR thing.
Yeah.
Do the right thing and get the right vibe off of it, right?
Right. So, I love that. I think that's good. Again, I don't, but from a draft standpoint for the Browns, very odd draft, right? I mean, it's, they got Mel Kiper. I've got Mel Kiper's shit pulled up here. Mel Kiper, who basically had a live conniption fit for
Oh,
5 rounds about Shador Sanders.
I went and seen a 2-minute clip of him losing his mind. Like,
dude, there's like
goodness,
9-minute compilation videos of him just
great.
like, he was losing his mind. And, like, again, there are some people who praised him for it, because, like, again, you can look at it from the way of Mel Kiper is, like, basically calling these people on their shit, because, like, look, even if he was unprepared in some of these meetings, stuff like that, like, most of these people who had him rated that high they can't all be that wrong. I mean, are maybe they, I mean, I guess they can, but they can't. They saw something, right? There's something there. There's something there. Even if he might not be, book there on the books, he's got the talent. He's got the raw athleticism. He's, he is. But I was not a Shador guy. I wasn't a Colorado guy. I mean, I was always like, I think I'm not a hater on Deion. I love what he's doing. I love what he's, everything he did for the HBCU. I love that he went to Colorado and built the program. But I always just, I thought that, they were way too hyped up all the time. It's kind of corny that they got their fucking numbers retired, right? I mean, Cordell Stewart went to Colorado, way better quarterback there than, whatever. But story for a different day. But now that he's here and we've got him, there's nothing you can do about it. You kind of just have to find the positives. And again, I think he's a damn good quarterback. And I think Mel Kiper, he did go a little overboard with it. But again, a lot of people will say, he was basically on national television calling out the system on live television. So did he go a little overboard and have a fit? Yes, but he loved it. A+, look at it. Gave us an A+. A lot of people loved, like I said, universally pretty praised for the draft. But again, kind of an odd. It's not your everyday normal draft. I mean, there's very few drafts. No receivers taken, thank God, because Andrew Berry can't draft receivers. But very few are you drafting a quarterback in the 3rd and the 5th round. You're not drafting back-to-back running backs, right? I mean, you're going Quinshad Judkins, and then you go turn around and get Dylan Sampson. It's like you brand new running back room, brand new, a completely brand new quarterback room, right? I mean, Joe Flacco is returning, of course, but Kenny Pickett comes in, draft Dylan Gabriel, draft Shador Sanders. You got 5 guys there now, right? So who that? Shador, Dylan Gabriel, Flacco, Pickett, and who is the other one?
You don't have any more DTR or Winston, right?
Somebody's at my house right now, and I don't like it. Hold on. There's somebody else I'm thinking of. Browns. Maybe not.
I'm not sure if you have anybody else.
Oh, Deshaun Watson, obviously.
Oh, right.
But,
yeah. But that's pretty much.
He's that. Question for you, though. So here's my question for you then.
Okay.
Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, Shador Sanders. Who has the best chance to be the 3 remaining quarterbacks on this? Who's the odd man out of those 3? Which 3 do you think opening day? Who do you 2 questions here. One, who answer me those? Which 3 do you think are there opening day? Which one do you think starts opening day?
Is it bad that I think that my mind just said Pickett starts opening day with the 2 rookie quarterbacks. and Flacco's gone. But they spent all the money on. Well, they didn't spend a lot. They spent $4 million on a. I'm gonna say Pickett's gonna start week 1, and I'm gonna say that he's gonna have the. Can I dump one? Can I hide one of them on the practice roster? Can I hide Dylan Gabriel on the practice roster? Because that's
Who?
probably what they're. Can I hide Dylan Gabriel on the practice roster and say I'm gonna start Pickett, Flacco be the backup, and Shedeur be the third?
I don't think so.
Damn it!
I don't think that's because I don't think that's how it's going to happen.
No?
And the problem is, I don't think either one of these guys. I don't, and I don't think any of these guys are going to get through waivers. So
No, and that's the magical problem, right? And somebody's going to get hurt in the training camp and be desperately looking for a stopgap quarterback, which somebody will, one of those, a desperate team, if heaven forbid, if Cam Ward went down and one of those dropped, they would have to take one of them, right?
so who do you? So what is your final answer here? What is your who's starting? Pickett.
I'm going to still say Pickett, and they release Flacco.
I think that okay. So I'm going to go the other way, where I think they keep Flacco and get rid of Pickett. But I think it's one of those two. Like I don't think there's a wrong choice there. Dylan Gabriel, like as much I think as a 3rd round draft pick, Dylan Gabriel is really gonna have to fuck up for him to not be on that roster. I think he is. To be honest with you, can I be completely honest with you? I think he's the safest one.
Yeah, I could see that because in any way, shape, or form, he's probably going to be 3.
I mean, yeah, I agree. I think he will be the 3rd on the depth chart, but I think they've got the most wrapped up in him right now, right? 3rd round pick, Flacco $4 million, whatever. Pickett, the pretty cheap trade, and then Shador's getting like pretty cheap 5th round draft pick contract. So I personally think if the way that Cleveland loves Flacco and the way that they've, I think if they brought back Flacco and cut him before the season started, I think there'd be I think people would lose their shit. I think Kenny Pickett has the most value. I think they can still, like I said, I think there's somebody out there they can flip him for. I think they can get him for something, or I think get something for him, or at least, maybe not just have to flat out cut him. But I think Flacco starts week 1. I think Flacco starts week 1, regardless of which one of those two. I think it's Pickett or Flacco start week 1, and I do think Shedeur. It'll be one of those two with Shedeur, Dylan Gabriel, in my opinion. I think Shedeur. I do think Shedeur is going to beat out Dylan Gabriel. I do. I think Shedeur in camp. I mean, Shedeur Sanders, like I said today, he's already the number 1 selling jersey rookie from the draft. He's already got the number 1 sold jersey. Like, if you go back and scroll through the Browns Instagram since the draft, you wouldn't even know they drafted Dylan Gabriel. You would think that Shedeur Sanders was like the number 1 pick and the only pick they had like 19 posts in 2 days or some shit about Shedeur Sanders. So I just think that, I don't know, knock on wood, he doesn't get released, but that would be my thing. So I just want to see Shedeur get a chance. I hope Shedeur gets a chance.
Yeah, sometimes those things play out and somebody gets hurt and then they can kick the can down the road to deal with the problem. But yeah, I think one of those 2 veterans is definitely starting week 1. Who? That'll be the magical question.
Who else stuck out to you in this draft? So, there was a lot of good drafts in this year.
That Atlanta trade was puzzling. That was the one that had me confused because what was it, the pick before the Giants got up to go get Jackson Dart and they give up their 2nd round pick and then like a 4th and a 6th, where Atlanta traded up and they
James Pierce Jr.
Yes, and they ended up giving up their 1st round pick next year for 1 pick later.
Yeah, very.
What?
And that's what he says. So that's actually what he's saying here. It says the Falcons used their first 4 picks on the defensive side of the ball for the first time since 2019. I just wish one of them went to the cornerback group and maybe one of them was directed to defensive tackle. But the real key reason I gave Atlanta this C was trading away the 2026 first rounder. So, yeah, just a bad move.
It was like they seen Tampa when they picked up the what was the receiver's name?
Ibuka,
Yes, thank you. I think I drafted him
you did.
in the dynasty league. I already forgot. But anyways, like it's like they went, oh god, they're gonna have a three-headed monster. We need to get better on defense, and we don't care how.
Yeah, that was a very odd decision. And then so let's see what they gave Jacksonville. So Jacksonville got a B. So they actually picked. They had Mel Kiper had Mason Graham going to the Jaguars in all 4 of his mock drafts. Which obviously that did not happen. They get Travis Hunter. I wish they would have showed us like a picture of like just ranking like who got all like a picture that summed up everyone's rankings in one, so I have to scroll through all these. Yeah, Tampa did good. I mean, what were some other draft surprises in this one? Like you said, Ibuka going there was somewhat surprising, I guess, because of the depth they have there at wide receiver. I know that
Went
what?
Where Jackson Dart went?
Jackson Dart went to, so he goes to the Giants. Giants trade up back into the first round to get Jackson Dart. Obviously, the big story from all of this is the Ulbrich shit, right? We're getting all the fallout from the prank calling, which.
Oh, yeah.
What did you feel about that? Do you think that was the right punishment, just enough punishment, not enough, too harsh? So they got. So obviously the story is that Jeff Ulbrich, the defensive coordinator of the Falcons, his kid was the one doing all these fucking prank calls, and it appears that he got it because Jeff Ulbrich was just careless with this information, right? So they say that they were saying that what they say $200,000 or something like that. He gets $100,000 fine or something like that. And then the kids had to call, so do you think that there should have just been a fine? Do you think there should have been more than that? Do you think there shouldn't have been any punishment for something like that? Or how do you feel how the NFL handled the prank call situation?
That's a really there has to be something. That's a really hard one because I think it's about right, but if they threw more of a hammer down, I wouldn't have been surprised either. They couldn't get away with scot-free and slapping their hand, that was for sure. But I don't know what else you can do besides fine them a stupid amount of money, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what you have. You have to. There has to be something. Like I guess that I didn't want the guy to lose his job. I didn't want. Right. Yeah, I don't think the guy should get fired or anything like that. But I do think that like there has to be something you do here where it comes into like the carelessness here. Like, how is this kid able to just get all these numbers? I mean, now you're seeing like half the fucking draftees got prank called, and obviously the Shore Sanders one was the big one, right? Because it was caught on live stream and shit. But yeah, that was pretty interesting that that dude's son got caught in 4K.
And that's not the first time that this has happened before.
So yeah, the Giants had a pretty good draft. Abdul Carter, obviously the edge. Jackson Dart, they go get Cam Scatabo, the CTE King. That's going to be hilarious. See what Cam Scatabo does in there. Do you think they use him pretty hard? Do you think he's a starter there right away?
I think he needs a little bit of time. I think getting rid of our dynasty talk for 2 seconds, I don't think he's relevant till about week 7 to 10.
He has like a Stetson Bennett feeling to me, like he's going to go into AA and never be seen again.
That wouldn't be shocking.
Cam Scatabo looks like a 40-year-old plumber with drinking problems.
With a 12-year-old coach that's screaming at his fan base.
His mom was saying back during the draft or before the draft that his son Cam used to put on football pads and just run into telephone poles as a kid. That was a story she told. That's like how that's how they knew he was going to be a football player, because he put on his brother's football pads and just ran into telephone poles. And then you look at him and you're like, yeah. No, that guy definitely runs into fucking
because he is
telephone poles.
A generous 5'9" and like 230 of just a square bowling ball.
Like, he's the kind of guy that you're like, what's in that water bottle? Like, why do you smell? What are you drinking? It's like he's got like Coors Light in his fucking Gatorade bottle.
Well, it's like I could have a scholarship. I could get scholarship, or I could just go to Arizona State and party and be like the king on campus, yeah, I'm just gonna do that. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah, he's a fucking sicko. I mean, I definitely think he'll have his moments. I mean, I do think that, um, yeah, I mean, I'm sure. I hopefully we see good things from old Cam Scatabo. The Bears, I'm kind of just scrolling through to see what sticks out to me. Bears had a weird draft. I mean, everybody loved the Colson Loveland pick at 10, but again, I guess that means that Cole Kmet's probably on his way out. Luther Burden going there is kind of strange. I love Luther Burden. I was hoping he'd go somewhere. I really think they're going to get. I think they're going to get rid of DJ Moore. I really do. I think DJ Moore is probably the odd man out there. He is DJ Moore, so I just kind of an odd pick there. Kind of in a crowded room now, So I don't know what they're going to do there. But Colson Loveland, again, I guess that means that we're DJ Moore, Cole Kmet probably on their way out. How'd you feel about the Texans? You guys got Jaden Higgins at Iowa State.
I like that. Like they because Tank's gone because like his whole knee's being reconstructed, so you kind of needed a stopgap for the year. But hopefully will turn into more. Stopgap maybe isn't the right word, but you have no Tank for the year, so it's again the Texans are the best team in the shittiest division in football.
Right.
So, yay.
Chargers got Amari in Hampton. I don't know if anybody's seen that picture of him shaking his coach's hand, but he's fucking enormous. Let me show you this picture. It's actually disgusting. I mean, this guy is. Look at him! Look at him shaking Harbaugh's hand.
That is, and Harbaugh's probably like an average sized dude, I would be assuming.
That's a running back.
Yeah, no, isn't that scary?
Holy shit!
They know how to grow them.
So Amari in Hampton, that's going to be a good one. Trey Harris, I drafted him in our league. I think he can. I think he's going to take that job from fucking Quentin Johnson easy. So they had a good one. Obviously, Tennessee getting Cam Ward, best player in the draft, in my opinion.
Yep.
Kevin Winston Jr. is obviously nice. They had a good draft. I think they're going to be pretty good. They went out and signed Tyler Lockett. They got Ridley. It's not like a scary receiving core, but I do think that I think Cam Ward's going to go in there and have some nice weapons. Tyjae Spears, obviously, I think they're going to be looking all right. They went and got his boy Restrepo after the draft.
Would you be surprised if Tennessee went 7-10 somehow?
I would be surprised if they were even better than that. I really think that Cam Ward is him. I think Cam Ward is that good. I was reading a story today about. I was listening to a video of some guy telling a story today about the first time he ever saw Cam Ward at Miami, and he was like, "I walked down there." He goes, "It's like he had just gotten to Miami. It's first week on campus. It's like it's some of the first practices." And he goes, "You'd walk down to practice, and it felt like a drill sergeant talking to his fucking people underneath him. Like nobody's talking, everyone's listening, everyone is fucking just basically the whole thing started off as you could be the best player in the world and be the nastiest player in the world and have zero leadership skills, right? You could be the greatest athlete player in the world, can't lead a team, or you try to fake it and they see right through it, it's not really genuine. They with Cam Ward, it is just you just feel it when he walks into the room that guy is an absolute fucking warrior.
You can just tell sometimes in a huddle.
And I know that. So this was kind of a topic on Twitter, which because people took it kind of racist, of course, but they were like, Cam Ward not flashy, not wearing the big chain, just dressed out, normal suit, blah blah. And a lot of people took that as, oh well, he's not flashy, he's not a black dude, he's not But in reality, I think people are just, in my opinion, I took it as he's not here to show off. He's not here to. He's just here to get drafted. Yeah. He's here to fucking play ball.
There's people that want to have that moment and have your Gentry with this Crocs that were diamond studded in that, and that's just a dude. I'm here to be drafted. I know where I'm getting drafted. I'm just gonna wear a nice suit, get my pictures, and tomorrow I will be in beautiful Nashville starting to look at the playbook.
Yeah, so I really think Cam Ward's going to be great, dude. I'm excited for him. So I think they had a good draft. I agree with you down there. Unders Chargers had a great draft. Who else kind of stuck out here? I'll wrap this up in a minute because it is 8:30. I do like Matthew Golden. He has grandfather's Rolex of the draft. I like that too. I thought that was awesome. He looked clean as shit. I like Matthew Golden for the Green Bay. I think he's nice. I wanted him in our draft. I think he's going to be a guy that goes in there and could separate himself from the rest of the guys. Tyler Warren, big pickup for the fucking dog shit Colts. But yeah, I mean, really, is there anything else that stood out to you? I'm trying to think of any other big draft picks that went this weekend, like
trying to
that
think
maybe
what
maybe
the
there were
bust was.
surprises. Like I said, Ibuka was kind of a surprise.
Yeah.
I saw Elijah Moore signed with the Buffalo Bills today. It was kind of sad. I was hoping that the Browns brought him back. I did just read. Wait, so do we get something for him? Hold on. I just read something the other day. Yeah, okay. So the Browns have applied, this is 2 days ago. Browns have applied the seldom used unrestricted free agent tender to Elijah Moore. So this means that Moore will still count as a part of the compensatory free agent if he signs with another team the upcoming compensatory formula deadline. What does that even mean?
Like a compensation pick for
Compensation, yeah. Compensatory free. He says this means that Moore will still count as part of the compensatory free agent if he signs with another team before the upcoming compensatory formula deadline.
So I think what that means is that if whatever team signs him, there'll be I don't want to say a penalty, but you're giving up a 5th-round draft pick to sign him.
Yeah, so he signed with the Bills today. I saw somebody else. They put a tender on somebody else like that too. But yeah, that's sad. I kind of want to see him back with Cleveland. I liked him. So Rams, Terrence Ferguson, a lot of big tight ends going in this draft. So we're going to see a lot of new names. Like you're going to see the Rams, a new tight ends. You see Tyler Warren in Indianapolis. Obviously you'll see Loveland in Chicago.
Yep.
Tyler Show, the 40-year-old, ends up going to fucking the Saints, which I thought was crazy. But I guess, a team like that. I mean, I guess Show, if you're looking at a guy who's pretty much in his damn near going into his athletic prime, so maybe that one's good. I do like what the Steelers did. I don't love it. I'm not scared of it. Will Howard being, there. I mean, it's hilarious. These guys, Pittsburgh right now is shitting bricks over Will Howard. Like the hype around Will Howard, they're like, oh, like they're hyping him up like he's about to be like the next Big Ben, and it's hilarious.
That does sound like a very Pittsburgh thing to do.
Like, I don't know. Get out of here with that. But they also drafted a guy named Yaya Black, which is sick. So I love that. Caleb Johnson is pretty nice. Derek Harmon's nice. I think Derek Harmon's, his mom died on draft night, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure Derek Harmon's the guy who got drafted, got to the hospital in time to tell his mom that he got drafted, and then she died.
Wow.
So she was like on life support during the draft, and then she died. They took her out. She died like hours after finding out he got drafted. So,
right.
Shout out to Derek Harmon. That one sucks, but he's gonna be a beast. McMillan really fucked up in the draft and took Luther Burden over him and mine. I didn't even realize he was still there in that draft. That was so dumb of me, but whatever. I think he's gonna look nice. I think this is gonna be good. I'm excited to see what Bryce Young can do after his little resurgence last year. Browns get an after draft pick out of the deal. That's the compensation. Let's fucking go, baby. They can have him then. Atlanta, we just talked about Atlanta, Cincinnati. Fuck Cincinnati. I'm not scared about anything they do. So yeah, so it was a good draft. I mean, it was, a very, a lot of drama, in the draft with all the prank calls and the Shador stuff and Shador falling around 5, and then you had the Mel Kiper meltdown and stuff. So, it was a fun draft. I mean, I, especially like for me, where I felt like I was so broken on Thursday and I was so sad.
Oh, that's a minor understatement.
Dude, when they traded that pick, I was so sad. And then like watching Mason Graham, it's so sad. But I tell you, like after like now we're here like a week out, and then I'm feeling so much better. Like I really do think the Browns hit a home run here because like I feel like they're they're in a point where like something has to work out right. One of the running backs that they got's got to be nice. I think Judkins or Sampson are going to be nice. One of those we got 5 quarterbacks, right? So one of the one only has, well, 4 of them have 2 legs. One's got 1. Deshaun, I'm not gonna lie. The way they've set things up, I wouldn't be shocked to see if none of these guys work out. Deshaun might be back in there next year. I'm just saying. Again, we still got two draft, 2 first-round picks next year. So if all these guys shit the bed, we can still go get it's Drew Allar or fucking Arch Manning or something. I heard Arch Manning might stay for another 2 years, because that pisses me off. But we'll see. So I really feel good about the way the Browns did it. I like the Shador thing. I really wanted Shador. So the Dylan Gabriel pick hurt. I mean, it hurt. It still doesn't make sense to me. The Dylan Gabriel pick doesn't make any sense. But the fact that they were somehow, I took a nap that day, woke up to like 50 text messages that like, dude, the Browns just took Shador Sanders. I'm like, no way. And like, it feels so cool because like the Browns have never had somebody like, how popular he is. You got Sexy Red and you get all this, like the celebrities are backing him now, right? Because they all were on the he's getting railroaded train, like all the draft did was make him more like they almost made him a sympathetic figure, right? Like, damn, look at Shador. Like, we know even though he's probably a little hyped up and he is a Deion Sanders kid, no way he's a 5th-round draft pick, right? Like the kid, he is everyone's top 3 quarterback on the board. How is he still there? But so they almost made him a sympathetic figure where now everybody, like the black community and all these rappers and stuff, like they're riding for him now. Like they're like Sexy Red was like, when's the first Browns game? I'm pulling up. Like he's the highest selling rookie jersey. So like you've almost got people, his fans, like the Sexy Red fans, like all these fans are starting, like I saw, like they were like, don't get a twist, we're only here for Shador. The moment he goes to another team, we're leaving. But it's like, that's fine. But you're in our house now, bitch. So like, you've got the national attention, and like, it's almost like the Browns are like being praised for it. It's cool. Like they're never praised for shit. And for them to be like, damn, they stood up and fucking did it. It's like perfect timing. Perfect timing. I would play the song, but we'd get hit. Rolly, I'm at a perfect timing. I've been walking around like this since Thursday, since Saturday.
That sounds about right for you.
Perfect timing, bitch.
That's even how you threw out your back and you were on the ground like that.
I threw out my back, and the only reason I couldn't get up is because I only had one hand, because the other hand was like this. So I'm trying to get off the ground there, and the people around me go, Nick, you'd get up a lot faster if you just used your other. And I go, perfect timing, and I was just fucking talking over him, dude. I'm like, shut up. Shut up.
Yourself up, asshole.
I'll lay on the ground for another 2 hours.
It's on company time now.
Bitch. And so once I get some money, I'm going to get me a Shador jerseys. I'm telling you right now, I'm getting one. Teams don't want a distraction to back up. Yeah, no, I agree, for sure. I mean, I understand why people didn't want him, right? If he's not going to be our starter, the last thing we need is to fucking put him on our bench. And by week 3, we got Deion fucking, I mean, and look, I'm not going to lie. I think that whole family was humbled by this a little bit. I really do. I watched a vlog, a 45-minute vlog. Yeah, I'm that guy. I watched a Shiloh Sanders, or Shiloh Sanders, his brother, he's a streamer, watched a 45-minute vlog last night. And there afterwards, while they call Shador, Shador's like, he talks to Stefanski, talks to AB, talks to, a couple other people in the room. At one point, Deion walks over and he's like, thank you. Like, thank you, God. Like, he's looking at the phone. He's like, thank you guys so much. And then at one point, at the very end, they cut the camera because I guess, Deion didn't want this to be seen. But he's like, Shador, ask if Mr. Barry's still there. And he's like, hey, is Mr. Barry still there? And she's like, whoever's on the phone's like, yeah, you want to talk to him? And he's like, yeah, my dad wants to talk to him. So he hands the phone to Deion while he is now on you hear Andrew say, what's up? And then he walks off camera. So to me, you could tell that Deion was like, thank you. Like, thank you for not letting my kid not go undrafted, and thank you for giving. Like, I don't think he ever saw this, and there were parts in that thing where he was like, there was a part in the vlog where he goes, Lord, take my sons off the cross and put me back up there, basically, like quit fucking my kids because of who I am, like, hey, crucify me, put me back up on the cross, do whatever you want to do for me. He's like, but quit, fucking my kids over because of who I am, type thing. And it was like, so it felt very humbling, like it felt like they were almost like, thank you so much for drafting our kid.
Wow. Good on Cleveland, but also, hey, Deion, you're not well. Yeah. it's sad that the way the NFL did it, but it's also not surprising what the NFL did.
Not surprising at all. I mean, it's really not. I mean, I like that he's already working on his conditioning. Yeah, I mean, he's looking great. I mean, he's already running hills. He was in Cleveland the next day, and we're going to end on this, and we're going to wrap it up here in a second. But I learned yesterday, which I loosely learned. I don't know if this is confirmed because Big Perk couldn't 100% confirm it, but everybody's kind of getting on Shore yesterday because Shore showed up to Cleveland, right? And he's talking about, he's in a gym that's not the Berea, it's not the Browns, it's not their work, he's not in their facilities. I didn't realize it, and I read this, and Big Perk says he thinks it's true, but he didn't know 100%. If you're like a past a fourth round pick, you get late access to the facilities. Like the earlier draft picks apparently get facility time before you.
Which
So,
makes sense.
which would make sense, right? Because they've got more invested in them. You're a fifth round pick, you might not even be on the team in 6 weeks. So it's like
we're gonna give you the extra 90 minutes before everybody else.
So there's a date that he can't even get into the facility before a certain date. So he showed up to a Browns they own other facilities. Like there's a gym that they own in Cleveland that's all Cleveland Browns themed, but it's like a public kind of gym. That's where he was seen working out yesterday, and everybody's like, well, why is he there and not at the Browns facility? And it's like, to me, it speaks even more volume, right? That like this guy's, what's up, Tanner? How you doing, big dog? That he's in Cleveland. He's working out at a place that he can't even get in the facilities, but he's working out. He's running hills in Cleveland. He's going to, so I like that he's in Cleveland, and he's kind of like, because that's the only thing that's going to turn this around, right? He has to just get in and get his hands dirty. He's not complaining about being the backup. He needs to keep, doing public stuff. He needs to just kind of put his head down and just work.
Yeah, just do the right thing. Go to work. Go into all the team meet. Like, just be a good teammate. That's what he needs to be right now. And his raw athletic ability in time could let him be the starting quarterback. But just do.
I
the
agree.
Right shit
I mean,
right now.
I'm with you there, Unders. I can't wait to see him pass for 4,000 either. Yeah, I don't think it was racist based either. I definitely think it was more just he's Deion's kid. He's coming in. He's sandbagging fucking interviews. Like he thinks he's remember at the beginning he was trying to tell Deion was like, I'll get involved. If teams draft them and I'll get in and do an Eli situation. So I think they were just kind of humbling him. So, but now we just have to wait and see what happens. I mean, that's kind of that's the fun part now. Now we get to wait and see who sinks and who swims come training camp and preseason time, huh?
It's good. Browns preseason football probably might be the most interesting.
They're probably going to be televised all 3 weeks.
I would be thinking that ESPN is going to have at least one of those 3 games for sure.
Yeah, Shador's first snaps will be on TV.
That's
for sure.
Safe to say.
All right. Well, let's fucking. Is there anything else you want to chat about before we get out of here? Blues are already starting. I don't know what the score is, but it can't be too long. So
it's going to be a fun night of playoff everything. So it's like the Capitals are going to be. Capitals are up 3-1. Florida's somehow up. Great, wonderful. And yeah,
Capitals are up. So Canadians are going home.
Yeah.
So are Tampa. So is
2
Tampa.
with 90 seconds left. Florida's up by 1 in the third. Start of the third. So still time left in that. So.
All right, we'll definitely keep an eye on that. We'll be back on Friday, obviously. Anything that happens between now and Friday, we'll go over all that. So Friday at 7 p.m. we will go over all the teams are getting eliminated from the NBA and NFL, or NBA and NHL. We'll go over the second round matchups that are already. Matt, I think we'll have more second round matchups solidified. Maybe not get too close. Maybe we might wait until we'll look ahead at them. We're not going to really give predictions or anything like that until we get a full set of second round games set in stone. But we will kind of take a look ahead. Because he said we've got teams that have been eliminated. We've got matchups set as of now. He said we already got Cavs, Pacers. So there are going to be more teams by the time we get back on Friday. 2 more. It sounds like they're going to get added to the list here tonight. We're going to go watch the Blues. We're going to hope to God they can stay on this fucking heater, win 3 in a row against the the Winnipeg Jets, and we can come back here on Friday with John Gruden in the house, baby. We can have the Gruden grinder here, and we can send them boys packing with the Gruden grinder.
Enjoy the original whiteout.
Shut up, dude.
One fast thing. why can't home hockey teams wear their white jerseys anymore? The original Winnipeg Jets whiteout was awesome, and then they wear their blue jerseys at home, and it fucking defeats the purpose.
Yeah, I do miss the white jerseys at home. I do miss that. That was clean as shit.
It was clean as shit, and you always knew who was at home, and yeah, just tiny little gripe.
It is what it is. Maybe they can put in an invoice, or they can write an email when they're on vacation here after Friday. So we'll see what happens. But all right, guys, we really appreciate you guys coming and hanging out tonight. It's been so good to get back. Sorry we were gone for so long. Like I said, Monday I really wanted to stream, but I couldn't even sit up straight. So we're back Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Make sure you guys follow us on all of our socials. Scan that QR code up top. Get us on Instagram. Get us on X, and we're live on X right now. So make sure you guys, if you're on X, make sure you like the stream. Give us a follow. Hop in the comments. If you're on YouTube, please just like the stream. If you're on YouTube, just like the stream, share it, whatever, subscribe, love all that. It really, really helps the channel. We really appreciate it. So it's good to see you guys. Unders, Sports Lab, Tanner, all you boys that swung by tonight. Really appreciate you guys. See you guys on Friday. You guys have a great rest of your hump day. Have a great Thursday. We'll see you at 7 p.m. right here on Derelict Sports. Thank you guys so much. Peace.